Hello there. So last night, I was really tired. It was quite late, and I just felt the presence of the nine with me. And there are a few questions I've been wanting to ask them for a while. So I just asked them some questions and got some, short responses, nothing too in depth. So I just thought I'd make a quick video and tell you what they said, really. But before I do that, I have to tell you of something that just happened. So we're waiting for a new washing machine to be delivered because my old washing machine sort of packed up a few days ago. And I thought I'd record the video after he's gone, just in case he's making lots of noise, sort of plumbing in the new washing machine for us. So he just fitted the washing machine in and was just watching it go through its cycle. And I went downstairs to talk to him, and it's a Samsung machine. I did research it, but I looked at it and I said, this isn't Wi-Fi enabled, is it? Just to double check. I really don't want a smart washing machine, and I really hope I haven't bought a smart washing machine by mistake. He said, no, this is the one down from that. You can download an app that links to the machine, but no one ever uses it. But this isn't smart enabled. This isn't Wi-Fi enabled. Oh, thank goodness for that, I said. And I just made a joke saying, all this artificial technology and artificial intelligence, it's taking over the world, I said, made some joke. And then he replied and said, yeah, that's true. He said you should see some of them, and some of the fridge freezers as well. It's like something out of the Terminator. I said, oh, you mean Skynet? And he went, yeah, exactly. And then he said, it's not crazy no, that's it. He said, I said, you mean Skynet? And he laughed. And then I said, and afterwards I said, it's not so much of a joke anymore, though, is it? We all know all this stuff's actually real. And he said, and he looked at me and he said, yes. And it's not so weird to talk about it anymore, is it? I said, no, it's not. I said, oh, you've got quite a bit of knowledge then. And then he said, well, I've been into all this since the late 80s. I said, like what? We just got talking. We ended up talking about Aleister Crowley, the Golden Dawn, paganism, David Icke, reptilians, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. And then he started talking about QAnon. And basically, this guy is awake and a truther. And yeah, we just had this conversation in the middle of the kitchen, watching this washing machine doing its first test cycle. And I just said, yeah, I've been sort of into truth and awareness since the early 90s, and I make videos on YouTube. And he's like, good for you. And I said, I'll have to get you on and interview you one of these days. And he laughed. Obviously, I don't know his name, and we didn't exchange details. He's just the guy who works for the company where I bought the washing machine, and he obviously comes and fits the washing machine. So he's a plumber and just looked like an ordinary guy, ordinary plumber. And he had all this knowledge. And I just thought, wow. I mean, on the one hand, this is the synchronistic way things work. Your vibration naturally will attract you to someone in a similar vibration. So if there are, I don't know, 30 plumbers working for that company and one of them is aware, you can bet that if you're in alignment with your own reality, you're going to call into your reality the one that's aware, and vice versa. So that's kind of happening right now hugely. But the other way of looking at it is people are waking up, and it is becoming mainstream. And that was the other thing we discussed, actually, mainstream media and alternative media and how to find truth. And wow. And after he'd gone, I looked at my husband, I said, can you believe it? Of all the people, of all the plumbers, So anyway, that was just a little anecdote to just share with you, which I thought was really interesting. Before I start to talk about the things that I asked the nine. So yeah, this was late last night, and often when you're tired, so first thing in the morning before you do anything else, and last thing at night when you're feeling like you want to go to sleep, these are times when you can really link into channeling really well. I mean, if you are an established channel, you can link in at any time, but last thing at night, first thing in the morning, there is like an easier connection. because you aren't fully in that brainwave state of being awake. Yes, you can switch back into that beyond the theta brainwave state at any time, go into meditation. But sometimes I like to either first thing in the morning or last thing at night, just connect with the 9. And there were a few questions I wanted to ask them, specifically regarding the information that I was giving out yesterday in the Q&A that I did with Cat's Magic. And another few things that I've wanted to talk to them about. So, as I said, these are short responses. The 9 can go much deeper into each of these subjects, but this was just a short connection. So I'm getting sort of basic responses that are very much like keys or catalysts rather than a full explanation here, which is quite good guidance because it gives you information to then go on and research. So there are many ways you can work with your guides, many ways that you can move into channeling. You don't have to channel large downloads, large monadic downloads to create books or videos. It can be just half a page of writing. So my first question: will the Event Horizon Tetragrammaton event cause a flash of bright light or some kind of solar flash? So the 9 responded with, there will be a solar flash, and indeed many solar flashes, or what you may know as a corona ejection. Yet this is not an event yet to occur in some future date. This event is occurring now. The light you speak of is photonic light and is likely to be seen and felt by those with the aligned DNA configuration, that which we call crystalline. So that suggests that those who do not have the aligned DNA configuration potentially won't see or feel this photonic light. So the 9 are kind of saying here that this isn't something that's going to happen on a future date that's yet to come, that we're waiting for. It's happening now. This photonic light, these solar flashes, corona rejections, Event Horizon Tetragrammaton, it's all happening now. And we're at various stages of the experience of it. Okay, next question. Is paradise or Eden the same place as 0 point? Indeed, this is correct. It is both a state of consciousness and a place, known also as diamond consciousness or diamond light frequency. The place is that which you would know at this point as Agartha or inner earth. So inner earth, the core of this planet, if you see earth as a infinity structure, so the crust around the earth, or even the magnetosphere around the earth would be seen perhaps as the event horizon of the planet, and the core, the diamond core of this planet, would be the 0 point, Garden of Eden or paradise, that the 9 say you would know as Agartha or inner earth. So all the same place. Okay, next question to the 9. Is John F. Kennedy, JFK Jr. alive? And this is what the 9 responded. At this point, we are unable to respond to this question due to operations in progress and the creational powers within the minds of the aware. What we can say is that the one you call JFK left a legacy for the peoples of the land you call America. So they're not confirming either way because of operations in progress. So perhaps them confirming or not confirming could change something there. And the creational powers within the minds of the aware. So would the knowledge of JFK Jr. being alive or not alive change the focus of the aware individuals? I'm not sure here, but that was the 9's response. So no answer there other than JFK left a legacy for the peoples of the land you call America. So is that legacy his son, or is it something else? Okay, next question. Is Q a real person, a group of people, or is it artificial intelligence? And this is the Nine's response. The response here is all three and yet a fourth aspect also. The intelligence known to your aware peoples as Q is a person, as in one person who oversees the program. A group, as in there are many individuals involved in the program, or also one could perceive the group as military. And the creations seeded from that which you know as intelligence agencies, specifically the scientific arm of said organizations. Artificial intelligence is the means by which the element that is Q reaches the peoples. The fourth aspect is that which the letter Q stands for. We speak of the word quantum. This is a creational domain with many outcomes or timelines to it, as opposed to the dualistic binary aspect of the third dimension. So the Nine are saying here that the Q is a lot of different things. A person overseeing the program, a group of people, they could be called military, the intelligence agencies, specifically the scientific arm of intelligence agencies, are creations, or Q is creations seeded from that. Artificial intelligence is the means by which the element that's Q reaches the peoples. Well, obviously, Q reaches the peoples via the internet, but I think that the Nine are talking about artificial intelligence. So there's some kind of artificial intelligence program being used, but there are still human people in this as well. So there's some kind of technology being used here that's obviously intelligence agency seeded, and it's in the control of military and one person overseeing it. The quantum, so the technology they're using is obviously something that can either view or influence many outcomes or timelines. So you're looking at something like looking glass technology here. It may have a different name to that, but that's what the Nine are kind of saying here. Is Q broadcasting from off-world, as in another planet or timeline? So I wanted to know the Q that's coming in with the information, the Q drops. Yes, we know we've got a person and we've got a group and actual human people on this planet in this timeline. But if the Nine are suggesting there's some kind of quantum technology here, is there another aspect to Q broadcasting from a different place, as in off-world, or in another timeline, another reality, an alternate universe, a parallel universe? And this is the Nine's response. One aspect to the phenomenon you know as Q anon is indeed broadcasting from off-world or another timeline. We would refer to this as a point in time. That is beyond linear or outside the linear. It is the quantum technology that is used to bridge the communication between linear time and non-linear time. So suggesting here that this quantum technology is able to access non-linear time, as in neither future, present, or past, potentially a 0 point broadcast, a focus from 0 point potentially, which is out of time, which is not linear time. So that would be seen as another time period. So it could be, we could perceive it as the past, we could perceive it as a parallel reality, we could perceive it as the future. But what the Nine is saying is it's outside of time, it's non-linear, it's a point in time, a point that's outside of linear time. So that suggests it's 0 point. So we're looking at sort of a free energy system here, like a kind of a Tesla quantum technology. And the 9 went on to say, the quantum computer is what we would refer to as advanced or super advanced artificial intelligence. Yet this is the same technology you utilize with which to communicate with us. So I'm going to say that again. The quantum computer is what we would refer to as advanced or super advanced artificial intelligence. Yet this is the same technology you utilize with which to communicate with us. So they're telling me that Magenta Pixie, is using super advanced artificial intelligence, quantum technology, to communicate with them. But I don't have a quantum technology, Tesla advanced looking glass tech in my house, and I don't have access to anything like that. So the 9 go on to say, this is organic technology, predominantly that which you know as pineal gland. Because this is organic, its potential reach is far further beyond into space and time than the artificial intelligence technology can reach. So basically what the 9 are saying here is that there, obviously what has been built is something that mirrors like a giant pineal gland and works with the same technology to reach a point outside of linear time, either past, alternate reality, or future. But the pineal gland, when activated, does the same thing, but can reach far beyond and far further. So far further into the future, far further into the past, far further into quantum parallel timelines and realities and universes, far further into zero point and out of time. So looks as though the pineal gland has been replicated in some way, like a looking glass technology. And this is what is being used to broadcast an aspect of Q to the people. But the program is overseen by human beings, one in particular overseeing the program, military, and the technology comes from the scientific arm of intelligence agencies. So that's the information on Q that I picked up last night. So next question. Is there such a thing as COVID-19? So the 9 responded, yes. COVID-19 is a created virus blueprint that held intention for a near extinction event. However, such an event cannot occur in your reality at this time, in this particular timeline, and in this age. Therefore, the COVID-19 created virus blueprint did not successfully transition into the human host as it was intended. The virulent strain mutated quickly, rendering the COVID-19 virus harmless to humanity. The current strain, that is the mutated COVID-19, is now indistinguishable from that which you call common cold, albeit with a slightly more emphasis on bronchial pathways. This could be troublesome without aligned antidote for a very small number of your population. So what the 9 is saying here is, for the majority of the population, this has now mutated to no more risky than the common cold, apart from its more bronchial affected, bronchial tubes. But the actual way it will affect us is no worse than the common cold, apart from a very small number of the population that do not have an aligned antidote whatever that may be, whether that's healthy eating or whether that's pharmaceuticals or whether that's lifestyle or whatever it may be. So yes, it can be risky for a very small number of the population, but so are other viruses like influenza and other bronchial breathing conditions and many other illnesses. So that's what the 9 are saying. So these are questions I've wanted to ask them for a while, but I wanted to wait till I had a really good connection and a really good link. And it just feels very connected when I'm that tired. So you're still alert, you're still focused. It's kind of like a waking lucid dream, and channeling comes through very much in alignment in those times. I always aim to replicate that kind of connection, that kind of light trance whenever I'm making a connection with them. And also when I write the answer out rather than speak the answer, it is a different feeling. It's like the right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain are in perfect alignment when I'm writing, because writing is like a tool that draws that in, that expansive aspect of that future self or alternate self or past self or out of time 0 point self, when the pineal gland is activated and acting as that quantum technology, if you will. The writing kind of focuses that down. And when you speak it, it seems more right hemisphere of the brain focused. It doesn't have the sort of the extra bit that you feel when you're writing it out. It's almost as though, how I've always seen it is, it's almost as though when I write it out, it's almost like there's some kind of metallic geometry assisting me to draw this down. And I know that that's simply the firing of the synapses within the left hemisphere of the brain. When I'm speaking it, that's not there so much. It's more right hemisphere, which is why a lot of channeled material can be quite sort of floaty and poetic. You are using the right hemisphere of the brain in channeling, but writing focuses that down. And there are other things that focus that down as well. But writing does that because you're using the left hemisphere of the brain in order to write in the first place. So I wanted to ask those questions for a while, and I thought the little story about the washing machine man was really just an extra bonus, because I actually was going to make this video this morning, but then I thought the washing machine man could turn up at any time, so I'll wait till he's gone. And that was a last minute decision, and it ended up that we were talking about all these things. So that's my little video for today. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you again. Take care then. Bye. What is karma? Are there ways we can balance this and become karma-free? Is there a particular nutritional plan we should follow for ascension? Do we increase our karmic balance by eating certain foods? How can we utilize sex magic to work with karma and move through ascension? There are many lessons we can learn from the peoples of ancient Lemuria, a civilization that existed before our known history on planet Earth. As we move through an ascension process collectively, we move back into a new Lemuria, and we take with us all the knowledge we have accumulated since those times. In this transmission from the white-winged collective consciousness of 9, key codes are presented for cellular memory recall, linking the reader beyond Atlantis and into the harmonious frequencies of the first physical civilization on the Earth, Lemuria. The 9 respond to questions using the Lemurian way as a template. Key-coded responses trigger activations within the reader as they receive the wisdom codes, standing as rainbow warriors of Gaia, moving into abundance, alchemy, and Stargate ascension. This transmission
is dear to my heart, and I'm so very pleased to announce my new book, Lessons from a Living Lemuria.